Alright guys, we are going to start with his abilities because the talents will change those abilities slightly, and I figured it'd be better to go over the abilities then go over talents that you can choose. So his first ability, is his officer pistol. Every point 0.7 seconds, it does 7.07 seconds. It does 70 damage. It doesn't do a lot, but if you track good, you can absolutely shred someone, and as you can see, it does 105 headshot. Now, this is a very good gun for a healer, I think. Especially if you hit headshots. Look at, I just melted that pip. Because if you can just like stay on the head, you absolutely melt. It is a very, very good gun. His next ability is his Mark of Fate ability. As you can see, I have already marked Fernando, and basically what it does, if say I had another teammate, I could heal them across the map. So like, even say I had a teammate here, it was like a tank or something, Fernando's pushed up, I could heal the teammate, I would heal him as well. It is a very, very good healing ability. I think personally that it needs to be able to do more as of right now, but hopefully they'll be addressed, because once the other team gets cauterized, his heal doesn't do too much, but that doesn't mean he's not a good healer. You can still do tons of heals with him if you play him right. Corvus's next ability is his mobility ability. It is an orb that you throw. It's called projection, and you can teleport to it for 5 seconds after you throw it. Now, it's a decent movement ability, but it's best used in its talent, where if you hit someone with it, it does 400, and then if you teleport through, it does 600, and it also stuns them. This ability we will get into later depths later, but see, 600 when you go through, stuns them, it does an initial 400. It is very good when you use that talent. He is a really good off healer, sort of like Brock. His final ability is the ability you actually use to heal. It is called Abyssal Reconstruction, and if you target someone, it will heal them. See, mark him, heal him. It is a 3-second cooldown. You can reduce it with Chronos and stuff like that. It is fairly good early game, but as the game goes on, like I said earlier, it is not the best. But with that being said, let's move on to his talents. Before we move on to the talents, we are going to be going over Corvus's ultimate, and his ultimate is actually pretty good for a healer. It creates a zone that does a certain portion of their health, and the longer you're trapped inside it, the more damage it does. It also will slow the opponent, so it's hard to get out of. You can easily finish off opponents stuck inside. It is very good in my opinion, because as you can see, the more health the opponent has total, the more damage it does. As you can see, it did the most damage to Fernando, and then while they're stuck inside, all slowed down, you can easily spray them down. It is a very good ultimate. It is very good, especially when you're using his stunning thing, because someone's stuck in it, boom, you stun them, now they can't get out, they take the extra damage, you go through them, and they die. It is a very good ultimate in my opinion, and it charges up fairly quickly, so you can use it quite a bit. With that being said, let's move on to the talents. The first talent we are going to be going over is his Dark Gifts talent. Any ally you mark with your mark will gain 15% crowd control reduction, 10% cooldown reduction, and 15% reload speed, as well as being healed for 50 once every second, as you can see there. Now, this ability, I personally think, is his worst ability. It is not very useful. I mean, if you're pocket healing someone, like say you and an Andro or something like that, you just stick with Andro and just keep spam healing him. It is extremely good that way because of all the cooldown reductions, crowd control reduction, stuff like that. But I personally think it is his least valuable talent. His next talent is Spreading Influence, and this is his best talent for healing, in my opinion, even though you do less healing to your marked allies. As you can see down below, you can have 2 allies marked. Now there isn't 2 allies there isn't 2 allies in the training room to show you, but as you can see, there's an open slot, so if there was another one, I could mark them. Yes, you do a little less healing individually to these people, but this means you can heal up to 3 people at once. Because if I say he wasn't marked, I had my flank and my damage marked. He was our tank. Heal the tank, the damage, and the flank also get a little bit of healing. This I think is his best talent for healing. This is what I use when I'm playing Heal Corvus. But up next we have what I think is his best talent. Corvus' next talent I basically explained earlier, but it is 100% his best talent in my opinion. It is Stunning Visage, and when you hit an opponent it stuns them, and when you teleport through it does another 600 damage. It is very, very good. It helps your team out a lot with the stuns. You can get a lot of quick damage off. It helps you get away from people quicker because you can just teleport through, and you can just hit all headshots while they're stunned there. And 105 damage every 0.07 seconds will wear down anyone. See, like it goes through half its health. It is very good. Your teammates can clean it up later, or you can clean it up as well. Now, those are his talents. Let's go into the game where we will go over the loadout, what items to buy, and who he is good and bad against.
Alright guys, we are now going to be getting into the loadout I use with Corvus. Now, what you see on your screen right now is the loadout I use when I play Heal Corvus using Spreading Influence. Now, you guys can copy this down if you want. I'm not going to go into too deep detail about it because I personally very rarely play Heal Corvus, so I'm going to be focusing on the loadout that I use when I do play him, if that makes sense. Hope you guys understand. Now let's move into the main loadout I use when playing Corvus. The first card in the deck, and probably the most important one, is Priority Targets. Now, this is when you heal somebody, it reduces the cooldown of your projection, which when you are playing Stunning Visage, which is the talent I use when playing this loadout, it reduces it by 2.5 seconds. If you don't have this card in your deck, you cannot play Stun Corvus. I'm just going to use that to refer to that talent. So this card, I have it maxed out at level 5, does have an internal cooldown of 5 seconds, but really it's not that big of a deal, and this card is the most important card in the deck. The next card in my deck is By My Will at level 3. This gives you 9 more bullets in your gun. Now, this might not sound like a lot, but 9 bullets can do a lot more damage than you think. Like, if you hit all headshots with those 9 bullets, you can do an extra 900 damage. Having extra ammo has saved me many times. It's not necessary, but I think this card, it's very helpful. You could even put it higher up if you wanted, but I like it at level 3. It seems to suit its purpose and has worked for me pretty well. This card isn't as important as if you were playing a heal loadout, but Grand Design at level 2 is what I like to use because it gives your ally 10% lifesteal and you gain 100% of that lifesteal to your health. So it is a very good sustaining card, especially if you put it on a high damage champion like Leon. You're going to be getting a lot of lifesteal, keeping you in the fight longer, able to let you do more damage. I think it is a very good card. You don't need it that high, and it works very well. The next card is Magistrate's Might at level 1. This isn't really a necessary card, but when you get below 35% health, you gain a 130 health shield. It has saved me a few times, extra 130 health. You'd be surprised what it does for you. It does have an internal 30-second cooldown on that card, but it is not too bad because usually that extra 130 health for 3 seconds should get you out of whatever jam you are in. The final card in my deck is probably the second most important card in my opinion, and it is Unyielding Discipline. Now what this does is each enemy you hit with your stun reduces the cooldown of projection by 0.8 seconds. So if you hit their whole team with it, which is possible if they're all grouped up by the point, then you basically have your projection again, you can use it again, then heal, and you have it again. So it is very good, especially if you can hit at least 2 people with it. I have it at level 4. If you had a level 5, it would reduce it by a second, but I think the healing one is a little bit more important, so I chose to go with that. That being said, that is my loadout for Corvus. Now let's move into the items you should buy as him. Alright guys, now that we are going into the items, I'm going to do like I did last time and give you the top 3 items I think you should buy when playing Corvus. Now, the first one might seem obvious, but Chronos. I think Chronos with Corvus is really good. One, because it means he can heal more, which also means he can get his card activated more. That lets him reduce the cooldown of projection. 2, it is also good because it reduces the initial cooldown of projection, and it also reduces his cooldown of Mark of Fate, which means you can change that around more to get more healing and also to get more lifesteal coming back to you. Now, the second item I think you should buy as Corvus is Kill to Heal, because if you're playing him right, you should be getting tons of eliminations and kills. Now, with Kill to Heal is better than Life Rip with him, because Life Rip you get almost nothing back, doing only 70 damage a shot. But with Kill to Heal, you can get up to 900 when you have it maxed out. And like I said, you're just spraying, throwing your projection out there. You do a ton of damage, get a ton of hits on a bunch of different people, which will enable you to get all those eliminations, aka getting all that health. And finally, the third thing I would recommend is Deft Hands. Reason for Deft Hands is, yes, his reload speed is fast, but if you max it out, you don't have to reload basically. You can just spray and spray and spray and spray, and you get so much damage done. It is incredible. So Chronos, Kill to Heal, Deft Hands, those are the top 3 items I would say to buy as Corvus. Cauterize can also be good if you want to add that in there as your 4th, but like usual, the 4th is up to you guys. I hope you have fun buying your items, testing different things out as Corvus. Now let's get into who he is good and who he is bad against. Last but not least, let's go over who Corvus is good and bad against. Now, we are going to start off with who he is good against. He is good against Maldamba, Pip, Ruckus, Ceres, and Sky. Now, as you can see on there, there are 3 healers, and that is because Corvus is some of the highest damage healer there is, and he can out damage a lot of those healers. Even Catalyst Pip, he can out damage. Stun or damage Ceres, he can kill them easy. Ruckus is because he absolutely shreds Ruckus' shield, and the stun makes Ruckus a sitting duck. And 3, same thing with Sky. Yet Sky can go invisible, but if she's stunned and the whole team knows where she is, she can't get away because she has 0 mobility, and she is also just a sitting duck. With that being said, let's move on to who Corvus is weak against. What you'll see here is some very high damage burst champions like Koga, Androxus, Dredge, and Lex, and the only healer he is not good against is Io. And again, that is probably because of the Fox. The Fox makes it so he can also be stunned. Io has her jump mobility to get away, and her 400 bow shots will hurt Corvus when he gets hit by it. Uh, with that being said, that is it for me for this video. There will be a short little Corvus clips montage at the end. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you liked the video, please comment down below, leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We are 11 away from 100. That would mean a ton to me to get there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.